We'd like to introduce to you our brand new game that we just brought out, one called Cricket. If you're an avid dart player, you're probably familiar with it. If not, let's just go over the basics. So you can play cricket either with scoring or no scoring. So let's start out with a no scoring game. Each player will have 3 throws. And so we put that message right on top so your customers know how the rules work. So the first player to throw, we have player 1 and player 2 here. There's 3 throws remaining, so it even tells them how many. So it's kind of using a modified dartboard here, and you have to use the 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and the bullseye. And the other numbers we're really not using at all, so we've taken them off the board to make it easier. You can also choose how difficult you make this. So you can say that the 20 is only the sliver of 20, or you can say if you hit anywhere in that big piece of pie, it counts as the 20. And just like darts, this outside ring is a ×2. This inside ring is a ×3. All right. So for example, what you need to do is close a particular number. If you hit a number once, it puts a slash in there. So I hit the 20, I click on the 20 and it gives me a slash. If I would hit the 20 again, it will give me a slash the opposite direction. And for our example here, I can even click down here. Anywhere I click in there in the 20, if I stay in the white, it gives me that. So now I've got an X. If I would hit it one more time, I will close it. It will put a circle around the X. So now I have closed the 20. Now it's player 2's turn, and he gets to go. Now if he hits the, let's suppose he goes for the 19 down here, but he hits the 19 times 2, that's going to give him the 2 slashes, making an X right away. Then if he hits the single 19, that will close 19 for him. So he's now closed 19, but he has 1 throw remaining. So now he goes for the 18, and he hits the triple on the 18. So that's going to give him a closed 18 because he just hit the triple on it. Now it's player's 1 turn. So player 1 goes, and he's aiming for the 19, let's say, and he gets a triple on the 19. And then on his next shot, he misses. So we click miss up here. So now we're down to 1 throw remaining. So he goes for the 16 and he gets a triple 16. So he has that one closed. So you keep on going, and the whole goal is to try to close all of them before your opponent does. So obviously it's good to hit the triples, not or the doubles instead of just the singles, because it'll close faster. For the bullseye, we're also using the bullseye. The center bullseye counts as 2, and the outer green bullseye here counts as 1. So right now I've got 2 throws remaining as player 2. If I hit the center bullseye, that's going to give me an X for that one. And if I hit the outer bullseye now, that will then count as 1. So that is going to give me a closed circled X bullseye. So you keep on going until everybody has filled up. The first person to close all theirs first wins. Okay, that's the way the game works. Now, if we want to do a new game here, we can do it with scoring. The way scoring works, the game's basically the same, except you'll see we have a total over here. So player 1 goes first, and let's suppose he hits the triple 20, so he has closed 20. Now that he has closed the 20, he can score on the 20, but you can't score on it until you close it. So it's got to close first, then I can score. So if I hit just the plain 20 now, that's going to give me 20 points. So you will see that I've got 20 over here. If I hit the triple right now, that's going to give me another 60 points on top of my 20 points. So you can see player 1 now has 80 points that he scored on a closed 20. Now if player 2 goes and throws at the 20, and let's suppose he gets a double on it, he's not going to get any points. He's got to close it. And then he goes and hits a, let's say the double 20. Now what happens here is he does not get any points because the other person closed it first. So he can't score points on one that somebody else has closed. Now, if you're playing with multiple people, 3 or 4 people, then anybody can score until the last person closes it. So here the last person has closed it, so nobody else can score on it. So now if player 1 goes and hits the 20 again, it counts as nothing, because now that both players have closed it, it's not going to do anything for us, right? So we're clicking here, we're getting nothing, neither one of us can get anything on it. All right, so player 1 has 2 throws left. He's now going to try to hit the triple 19, and then he gets that. So now he's got 1 shot left. So now he can score on the 19 since he has closed it. So it's a little confusing if you haven't played the dart game before, but that's the way the game of cricket works. You use the some of the numbers on the screen, and then you try to close them, and you can play just whoever closes first, or you can go through and say whoever has the most points when it's closed for everybody, then that is the winner. So that's the way the game works there. If you have any questions, we do have kind of the basic instructions written out. And if you have any avid dart players at your location, I'm sure they'll show you how to work it real fast. The nice thing about the way we have restructured this dart board, if you have a really good player and some axe throwers that are not that strong, you can say the good players have to hit the center, but the weak players, anywhere they hit in here counts. If you want to make it even harder for really good players, you can say that the axe wherever the top of the axe is counts. So in other words, if they landed a whole axe in the 20 where it's on the white and the red and more white, you can say, hey, it only counts as the white because that's where the top of the axe is, and it has to be the top point of the axe in the 3 or in the 2 in order to score the 2 or 3. So there's lots of good ways to handicap this game for players that aren't quite as strong. If you are playing with players that aren't quite as strong in playing cricket and or throwing axes, we would suggest that you start with the unscored game first. Otherwise, it'll take quite a while in order to finish a game. But that's the cricket game. Hope you have a lot of fun with it. Hope your customers love it. If you have any input for us, feel free to reach out anytime. We'd love to hear it. Thanks a lot.